Blade and Sorcery is a fantastical simulation of the bacchanal bashing of neck bones and clavicles, and as such is my favorite VR game. I have clocked, in total, 237 hours into this game, and I quit using blades, sorcery, and all miscellaneous forms of projectiles and bludgeons about 137 hours ago, because at that point, the only path forward is the primordial desire to disassemble every medieval conscript you see with your own two hands. I have never looked back. Now, before we continue, I believe the top brass may have some issues with the gratuitous material within Blade and Sorcery, so this video will contain colossal amounts of barehanded bludgeoning, some amounts of stabbing and dismemberment, miscellaneous burn-related damage, and whatever else that makes you stop breathing, used solely against not real robot mannequins made out of tomatoes. Please have a parent or guardian present, and do not take away my revenue, AI YouTube man. We are partner now, and I have to feed my landlord with your generous funding, because prior to recording my Blade and Sorcery gameplay, I had plausible deniability against my psychopathic bloodlust. Now I've got proof. So welcome ladies, gentlemen, and members of the jury that this is being played to an instructional video on how you could possibly complete the Crystal Hunt campaign without ever picking up a weapon. Now did I do that? I was, throwing off emergency blood bashing, confiscating, I had a gun. It is possible. Also, don't you dare install any of those improved combat mods. It's good as is, you just gotta get used to it. Now, unarmed fighting has a strangely high skill ceiling and a near limitless amount of John Wick techniques for you to learn, but before we get ahead of ourselves, time to make a character. Vampirically pale, changed nothing else, I call him Tacitus Fistworth. Now with a crashed boat playing as the finest of lab-grown test tube babies, we'll have to ignore whatever that thing is and move inland towards a research outpost I'll be squatting in. Obviously, I picked body sorcery to start out, but on top of that, we have limited telekinesis and a rusty sword, which I don't want. Let's start punching people. So the first thing you need to know, your whole hand's got a hitbox, no balling up into a fist required. So punch, slap, poke, palm hit, karate chop, shove, back fist, karate, double punch, hit them with the back of your wrist for an elbow motion, kung fu body check, wing chun, wheel of death, I don't care, it all works. Physical hits will work for now, sure, but you might be wondering how that'll pan out once you have to fight a guy in full plate metal. The answer is it won't. And that's where throws come in, because you can fastball people around about 40 yards with a little bit of momentum. Barely matters if they weigh 360 pounds or not inside all that, our protagonist eats his Wheaties. Therefore, start by learning how to grab the wrist. So I don't recommend snatching the sword arm as they're swinging, because you will still get hit and you will feel silly. So take advantage of the predictable wind down and staggered motions, especially if they've got a shield. Then of course, punch, slap, or kick the weapon away. It is not consistent at all, but may as well try it. When you do that, you still aren't able to throw them around so long as their feet are rooted down, so you gotta get them ragdolled. How do you get someone ragdolled? Hit them multiple times in quick succession. Hit them really hard. Hit them as they're doing something. Hit them in the leg. Grab and yank out the leg. Grab the neck and hoist up. Grab the head and push down, or just grab the wrist, push and release. Easy enough. Once they're on the floor, the obvious approach is to beat the stuffing out of them, but that's kind of tiring, and there's usually someone else trying to stab you in the time it takes, so may I present the Get Rotated 9000. Lay them out, grab a wrist with one or two hands, and throw them over their own weight in a circular motion while walking side to side to generate momentum. It feels great. Other moves include the suplex and grabbing an appendage and spinning around to batter your assailants with their friends, but every human already knows how to do those two things in particular, so moving on. Since leg trackers cost money, we have a designated kick button. Yeah, it's not the greatest, but we do have some tech. You can hold your leg out by holding the button midair, which, combined with the Mystic Sai Mastery 2 mod with added double jump and acrobatics for the sky-high flip axe kick of destiny. I like the sky-high flip axe kick of death, but if you want reliability, just grab the head and pull it into your kick. Works every time. Right, so with the basic fighting knowledge now beamed at the Tacitus Fistworth's smooth bald head, we're easily able to claim our new property and use this here rune table for the first upgrade. Dive Strike. It never works when you want it to. I don't care. We're going to the shop now, so on this island that everyone else's boat ends up crashing on, the video game developers Blade and Sona salvages the hardware and sells it back to random weirdos like us for exorbitant markups. Personally, I like to gauge the quality of my games on whether you're able to pummel the creator's skull in with a cudgel. Let's give it a shot. Absolutely fantastic. Based even. Should you not kill him, the Baron gives us a rundown on what we're going to do. So sorcery was discovered alongside the ancient civilization of Dalgaria about like a month ago, and by marauding through enemy outposts, we can find the location of those sites to get some more sorcery of our own. That's how we get crystal cores, but to unlock the power of those, we need to get as many crystal shards as we can and administer them with those cores, a rolled up $5 bill, and a credit card. Only then will we become the strongest crackhead in all of Eridan. Oh, and before I forget, we'll be using most of our cash to buy the heaviest armor we can. Not exactly a good selection out right now, but the only thing worse than a 27-mile-per-hour pugilist all geeked up on crystal shards is that same guy in a full Milanese panoply. The downside of focus recovery and casting speed decreasing the heavier your armor isn't applicable, because the only sorcery we'll be doing is Jujitsu without the Kaizen. Alright, should be everything. Time to go to work, guys.
Please sit over there, I'll be with you shortly. Okay, what would Chris Brown do? Go down there, go there. Go, no. Don't make me come down there, young man. Don't make me come down. I believe in Spawnism. 20% off your first purchase at Williams-Sonoma.
No, I have business with your friend here. Uno, dos, tres. Okay, great.
Hope you enjoy being a jellyfish. I could be uploading videos right now.
Excellent. We've located the first site, so to get ready, I'm gonna spend some of my new crystal shards on Discombobulate. There's a problem with that one. Blade and Sorcery has the issue of having satisfying and realistic VR fighting, of which you can get really good at and pull off cooler and cooler things. I am a psychopath. And an endgame where you turn into Goku. Which, I mean, yeah, that's cool, but we're not here for that. See, there's 3 types of upgrades. There's the ones you get used to and make the satisfying gameplay even more satisfying, like the shield throw. There's ones that are like that, but suck a lot of the fun out of the game should you spam them, like most of the spell upgrades. And then there's the ones like 1 in 3 chance of inducing a heart attack on enemies you look at. Unless you're trying to beat the game with as little effort as possible, I recommend unequipping those ones. So, a skill you can unlock at level 1 that allows you to end a sword fight by lightly tapping the other guy in the head, thus turning his brain into a slushy, giving you a brief counterattack window of 8 seconds, maybe a little bit of a hamper on the challenge. So I recommend throwing it on temporarily to get used to fist fighting until we have more skills and better gear. Once you do it enough times and hear the 1 in 1,000 bonk sound effect, you should probably quit and go to rehab. Now, how do you get through a Dalgarian ruin? Swim down the elevator. Several cool 720 front flips I'm going to throw. Use high-level stealth to partially intentionally distract enemies. Use high-level stealth to fully intentionally clobber. Admire the beauty of God's creation and give it a new paint job. And finally, collect all kinds of treasures, such as this D4 and roll to attack. So after punching this blue thing a couple times, I encounter a pile of rocks that it's getting up. Okay, I didn't know. I wouldn't see that coming. Now, you are in fact able to take down Hector fists only. I don't recommend doing it, but you can. Each crystal on his body takes 3 extra forceful hits, and once you're done with all those, you have to hit the blue ones around the arena, then hit some more crystals on the body, crack them open like a Kinder Surprise, and give it a yank. Excellent. We're looking for that prismatic rock. We're gonna pop it in this pedestal and choose a new crystal core. I'm gonna pick Mind to start. With that at level 1, we get some upgrades to telekinesis, but also slow-mo, which has a bonus strength boost when active for throwing people harder. Fairly useful, of course, but you may be wondering why I want that over body core too. I don't know. No more unarmed build. I'm going to kill them with my heater. So the rest of the gameplay is basically just more of that, but we always have arena fights available. No procedural generation, no platforming, no stealth, just straight senseless violence. They're way more difficult than dungeons and barely pay, but sometimes the work is reward enough. So with my complete lack of current subject matter, let's just roll the clips.
What did I do to that guy? I've been to Dave & Buster's once or twice. Let's give it a shot. Huh. Can't have witnesses. Don't mean to be partial, but that is a horrible haircut and you need to die, so I guess I didn't even do that. What is your guys' beef? A little bit of punching, a little bit of throwing. Please, sir, please don't hit me, I'm unarmed. That's what you look like. What are you doing? Don't interrupt me. It's like Mario from video games. No, I don't mind. You can get pieced up too.
After launching Hector like a rat out of a potato cannon yet again, I can acquire another body crystal and fuse them for level 2. Splendid. This gives us 3 important upgrades, first up being a 1 per fight revive and localized nuclear explosion, which then proceeds to give you a strength multiplier for the next 15 seconds. Pretty good, but we also get fly kick, which is even better. It's not obtrusive since it's basically toggleable on the fly, since it doesn't like to kick in while you're rising from a jump. That wasn't even intentional, I swear to God. Now on top of intercontinental drop kicks, you can now blitz through any level at Mach 5, given you still want to beat the game and get your 2-hour refund, but the third one, and the most important upgrade to the build, is Wrestler. All it does is ragdoll enemies that you grab with 2 hands. That's it, but it allows you to do even more grab combos you initially couldn't, so may I introduce the rigmarole. Left hand to right wrist, right hand to right side of the head, and then push them through. So easy to pull off. So satisfying to do. So earnestly efficient, I wonder why anyone would do anything else. And as anyone, it's time to learn even more moves. You can use your right hand to grab the wrist and left hand to the left side of their head to do something similar, but even I don't know what I'm looking at here, so may I introduce the backpack. Stand in front of them, right hand, left hand, and give them a good toss. Or face them, grab the wrist just like that, bind and twist it. Lastly, doing the get rotated 9000 before they even initially hit the ground is now improved, even with one arm, but it's important to note that you still can't ragdoll enemies with just one hand on most areas of the body, so it's... Blade in Sorcery allows your arms to stretch a bit to stay attached to objects that you grab, but it also stores momentum while doing so, applied when you leave the ground. So, holding onto the wrist of an unragdolled enemy, who in which case has infinite inertia, allows you to rubber band yourself. I am lying, you never needed any upgrades to do this, but it does sync with fly kick pretty well. And lastly, the stealth RKO. Still working that one out, not an exact science as of late. Let's try all this out on the emaciated peasantry.
Just scoop them up and just dump them over. It is literally that easy. Oh, hey. Just nice, okay. Beginner's luck. Okay, you can't blame me for that. Alright, well, I don't need these anymore, and I'm sending them into the harbor. Yeah, don't be. I'm gonna need you to stop with that, okay? Yep, yeah, see, what did we learn? Fortunately, I always keep a magical extendo sword on me. You know, I got the magical extendo sword. I keep it. I love your magical extendo sword. Looks like this one's going to the Krankenhaus, are you? You two, 1, 2, the knee! This is our special boy right here. See, he gets the severance package. Yeah, I'm gonna need a moment here. I'm gonna give I'm so good at this game. I'm so good at this game.
Hey, guys. So I've leveled up fire magic up to 2, which may seem antithetical to the point, but if you cross level 2 body with level 2 of one of the 3 sorceries, you can make your hand go, yeah, this counts in horseshoes. The main reason why you'd want this is because so far we've been fighting the Outlaws, which can barely be considered alive, the Wild Folk, who have no useful armor, the Kingdom with their manageable amount of plate, and now we got the Eye, a questionably armed militia of sorcery enthusiasts. Now, tell me, where should I punch this man? Trick question, let's find out. Unlike normal sorcery, this isn't bogged down by heavy armor, but this move is very spammable, so I recommend using it only for combo finishers, the fire version being the best for that purpose. You could say that its usage at all is not really in the spirit of the unarmed build, but personally, I do not support martial arts extremist groups, and I will not say that the Eridan Kingdom deserve the fall of the Watchtower. After being fashionably late to the Archmage situation, I'm now able to purchase some of that fancy armor for myself, but never go in the red, you know. I still need a steady income for my supply of health potions. Lean, it is lean. You should be getting the hang of the build so far, if you aren't me. I found a stick in a Dalgarian ruin, and I've just been using that. Absolutely no reason for humanity to develop swords, it never got any better than this. This is 1 micrometer away from an unarmed build, so I personally don't see the problem, but if you choose to keep at it, you might be thinking it's about time to finally upgrade body to level 3, and... I don't know, man. The starting skill at that level is called Martial Protege, which you'd think would be perfect, but allowing you to do Omni-Man karate chops and rip off heads is a little bit obtrusive when you're trying to attempt a judo throw. You can't even unequip this one, so it's a good thing that it just doesn't work for me anyways. Intimidation is just discombobulate on crack, so the only 2 skills we should care about are Rampage. It's alright, I guess, and Mighty Kick. Yeah, it's spammable, yeah, you now have a end sword fight button to use at your discretion, but come on, we can have 1 game-ruining maneuver as a treat. Then again, the Eye found my place of residence, so I have to wipe off their gray matter from my walls and every striking surface on my body just to not be able to do any more Detroit Urban Survival Guide techniques. Great. Kind of a waste, but there's one more component we could tack onto this build, and that would be Mind level 2 and Hyper Focus. This is about twice as slow as the regular slowdown and makes you, I don't know, about 5 times stronger while active. Wait, hold on, I hear you not say, isn't there already a strength multiplier after that once per fight revive? Yep, they stack. Peep the rocket fist real quick. And with that, let's try it out.
Oh, we're not done, Joe. Can I get some of that booger sugar? I'm low-cooking fiending over. Okay, that. Poor Jerry, never gonna be anything like his brother. Stop breathing, stop breathing, stop breathing, stop breathing. Hello, Crystal Seller. I'm going into battle. I need your strongest crystals. What's that? Oh, Mr. Yeah, I got this from a mod.
I have a feeling that, you know...
Oh, you're a villain, alright, just not a super one.
I said I'd do an unarmed build, and I'm doing an unarmed build. This is what this is. What are you gonna do? Send a pipe bomb to my mailbox? I've been opening that with a string for a few years. That should cover it. Can't give me that. I need more. I forgot where this is, what I did, and who I am, but I guess I should drop the thesis. Despite the name, Blade and Sorcery has accidentally, potentially the most fleshed out hand-to-hand combat system of any virtual reality game to date, minus the secret level in Hatsune Miku VR where we make that blue freak bite the curb. I haven't even gotten close to covering every possible way you can grind down the foot soldiers with your own 2 unarmed hands, like check this out. I just came up with that. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm burning out here, so I couldn't put my funny where my mouth is if I told you I would keep making videos with this consistent degree of quality without a break. That is to say, a form of torture if you are attention deficit. Expect a new video in about 2 months. I have been lore taught Rex Salvo, I've been Rex Salvo, and I'm gonna undergo nuclear fusion.